All right, let's get into Friday feedback for the week. Info@davidpakman.com is the place to send your thoughts, criticisms, questions, suggestions, which may be featured on Friday feedback. We also look at comments and replies across all social media platforms. And we will also start including book reviews in Friday feedback, although none today, maybe next week. Okay, let's start with a negative comment as we sometimes do. Then we move on to more positive things. Here is feedback from Michael Shermer. Michael Shermer says, the David Pakman Show is going broke. I can't wait until this hateful, divisive propaganda show goes straight down the crapper. Flush this turd already. Well, listen, unlike the classified documents in Trump's bathroom, I don't think that the show is going to be going down the toilet. Now, it is not new that there are people anxiously awaiting, welcoming, and even trying to precipitate the decline and destruction of this and other progressive independent media channels. It's not, I'm not so naive as to think it's just about me. They just want the whole movement to collapse. Right now, it's not the direction things are going. The best January the show has ever had from a viewership standpoint was January 2025. The best February the show ever had from a viewership standpoint was last month. And we are on track, still a few days to go, but we are on track for the best March ever for the show to be this month. So yes, I understand, Michael, you want the show to go away. There are certainly other people who do as well. But for now, reports of our imminent destruction have been greatly exaggerated. Okay, Mark Byrne said, who would have thought that the convicted felon would have trouble obeying the court? Oh, right, everyone. Yeah, one of the things that I continually am surprised by is that people act surprised at completely obvious things. Trump has flouted the law and used corruption and nepotism and creative accounting and, all of these things, fraud in his, what's it called? The charity, the slush fund. All of this stuff are things he's been doing for decades. And then all of a sudden people go, oh, he's ignoring a court order now. His administration's ignoring a court order about the deportations to El Salvador. Well, of course, this is Trump. And we need to stop being surprised. That's the thing. And the concerning part is there is some naivete here. And there are people who voted Trump who said, I really don't like a lot of the things that he says. I just don't think he's really going to do them. And then now he's trying to do all of them. As I've said so many times, believe people when they tell you what it is that they're going to do. Lawrence T. wrote, if I was a Democrat, I would stay clear of a situation with criminal illegals. This will destroy your party for a long time coming. The majority of Americans wanted this to happen. There is an aspect to this that's important to listen to. There are so many hills to die on. And I think that it is critical for the left to hold Trump accountable over the fact that we were told that the focus would be criminal illegals, people accused, convicted of crimes, etc. And that all of a sudden, people whose citizenship paperwork is in progress are being either detained, imprisoned, or deported. They lied about what the focus was going to be. But to the extent that anyone would do this, the left, Democrats, progressives, whoever, coming out and making the hill to die on individuals who do fall under those lurid examples of sexual assault or violent crime, etc., who are also here undocumented. The left making that group the hill to die on defending, bad political strategy, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Trump's doing plenty of bad that the left doesn't need to go out and go, no, I believe that this rapist who's here undocumented should be allowed to stay. Now, due process, period. Right? Earlier in the week, we talked about Brian Kilmeade saying it's not really convenient or practical to give due process to everybody. No. We can't fall into that. Due process must be provided. But the left should not die on the hill of arguing that the relatively small number of undocumented immigrants who have been involved in violent crimes should get any kind of special treatment or be allowed to stay. Very bad move politically. Okay, Travel Time Car asks an investing question on the subreddit. Are y'all avoiding putting money into the stock market? Just wondering. I know most here probably hate Trump and the direction the country's heading, but I'm kind of wondering what to do while working with my savings account. Maybe simply putting money into my IRA account without actually investing anything could be a good idea. I know people say not to time the market, but it does seem like a shit time for them. For anyone into this sort of thing, what's your strategy? I'll tell you my strategy. This is not financial advice ever. My strategy is just keep buying. As the stock market declines, if you have a fixed amount that you're buying each month, you are getting more shares because the price has declined. Mutual funds, whatever it is you're invested in, index funds. The more the market drops, as long as you generically believe eventually it'll recover. Will it be months? Will it be years? We don't know. But if you eventually believe the stock market will recover, which historically it always has, the best strategy is just keep investing every single month. It's called dollar cost averaging. That's what I'm doing. And then over time, what you will see is that having accumulated all of those shares will increase the amount that you accumulate in dividends during that time. You reinvest the dividends. When the stock market pricing is lower, the dividends buy you more shares. And then when things recover, you are in a way better position than if you tried to time the market or whatever other idea. So that's what I'm doing. It's not advice for anybody else, but it's what I'm doing. Print this and smoke it, asked on the subreddit. Is Elon Musk just a Mike Pillow 2.0? Both are known to have used drugs that are known to create a sense of euphoria in the brain. Both got caught up in Republican nonsense and tanked their companies chasing a propaganda dream. All over the world, you're seeing people rejecting everything about Tesla and Musk. I personally want an electric vehicle, but would not be seen in what they are now calling a swastika. Yeah, there's an interesting analogy there. Mike Pillow sort of tanked his business by getting involved in politics. And Elon Musk seems to be tanking Tesla by getting involved in politics. It's a perfect analogy. That's absolutely right. The good news about the electric vehicle thing is there are endless options. There's no reason right now to say, oh, I want an EV, but I don't like Musk. What do I do? You've got dozens of options and more coming every year. So in that sense, it's actually a great spot to be in if you are an anti-Tesla, pro-electric vehicle person. Gerald Carper wrote on Facebook, so David, don't you see the hypocrisy of Democrats? We're all in on Tesla now that Trump and Elon have cut off the gravy train to these politicians. They all now hate Tesla. Do you sow the never-ending hypocrisy of the left? Atrocious, just an absolutely brutal assault on the English language. Let me rephrase what I think this person's trying to say. Will I acknowledge the hypocrisy of Democrats who loved Tesla, but now that Trump and Musk are doing stuff that the left doesn't like, they hate Tesla? No. Here's the bottom line. Elon Musk and Tesla advanced EV technology extraordinarily. Battery technology, no doubt. First mover advantage. I saw the promise. I invested in it. I drove a Tesla for a while. Now, we have so many more choices, and you can still be all in on electric vehicles while saying part of the reason we have all these choices is Elon Musk, but I don't like what he's doing right now. And so what I will do is I will vote with my dollars. I support electric vehicles. I will get an electric vehicle. I don't support Musk. I won't get a Tesla. It's completely consistent. It's completely coherent. When people's behavior changes, you adapt and evaluate their new behavior. That's it. Very simple. Academic Value wrote on the subreddit, wasn't it just last week that we got lectured by Trump about how it should be illegal to criticize judges? How long are people going to buy into this utter bullshit? It shows he just says anything, and these fools continue to go along with it. I know I sound like a broken record, but isn't it obvious that someone is a con man when they promote two totally opposite positions? Yeah, I mean, listen, Trump has a long history of taking completely different positions on different issues so that you can just pick one you like and say, I think I agree with Trump. Of course, Trump is a hypocrite. He previously and recently said it should be illegal to criticize judges when it was people criticizing, for example, Eileen Cannon, who presided over one of Trump's cases. And then on the other hand, Trump is saying, here's a judge that didn't do what I wanted. This judge should be impeached. The judge's wife is a Democrat. Of course, he's a hypocrite. The question is, does anybody care? I think the people that care are already not voting Trump. Consistency no longer matters to the modern American right wing. You can't get them to care about it. Ron Santucci, even left-wing notables like Bill Maher and James Carville are highly critical of the Democrats. And with good reason. The Democratic politicians are destroyers of our country. And liberal outlets like Pakman are propagandists who support the left no matter how bad they are. I don't think this person's ever seen my show. I, first of all, do not care about the Democratic Party as a party. I always just want to elect the best person, and I just look at who's running and vote for the best person, okay? Never been a Democrat, never donated to the Democratic Party, or to even, I never made a political donation in my life. I just don't do it. This is what I do. I have criticized the Democratic Party for picking candidates that do not seem authentic. I have criticized the Democratic Party for this instinct to be exclusionary rather than inclusionary and doing the opposite of what Republicans do. I have criticized the Democratic Party when I see an excess. I don't know what Ron's talking about, okay? But one of the things that I am used to is being criticized for things that aren't actually happening on this show. So that doesn't come as a surprise. But Ron, maybe try watching the show first before making such a criticism. Okay. Thank you to everybody who has bought and reviewed my book. We are soon going to know, is there any accolade based on first week sales that the book qualifies for? I would love your help. The supply chain issue on Amazon has been resolved. The books are shipping overnight. It's available at Barnes & Noble. Every Barnes & Noble store got 2 physical copies. I don't know if they're still there at your local Barnes & Noble, but every Barnes & Noble store did get 2 copies. And of course, you can get it everywhere books are sold. Please leave a review. It is critical that we really focus in on the reviews on 3 sites, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads. Doesn't have to be long, can just be 1 line. Loved the book. Thought this other part would have been better, or whatever, right? Just an honest review. But we want to get those ratings and reviews in. Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, I hope to have auspicious news for you about the first week for the book. We'll see you on the bonus show. I'll see you back here Monday. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.